The encounter. The warning lights pulsed across the command deck of the Valyrian Confederacy vessel, Eternal Vigilance. Commander Jetlon rose from her command chair, her slender frame casting elongated shadows as she approached the main tactical display. "Report," she ordered, six-fingered hands clasped behind her back. The iridescent scales along her neck flared with concern as she studied the anomalous readings. "Unknown vessel detected at extreme range, Commander," announced Sensor Officer Mira, her silvery eyes fixed on her console. "Configuration matches nothing in our database. Size estimate places it at military cruiser class, but the design is unusual." Jetlon's inner eyelids flickered, a sign of deep thought among her people. This far from established trade routes, unknown vessels typically meant raiders or perhaps a lost merchant ship. But something about this reading felt different. Alert the swift justice and righteous path to form defensive pattern. "Approach with caution," she commanded. The bridge crew moved with practiced efficiency, sending encrypted burst transmissions to the other two patrol vessels. As they closed distance, the alien ship grew clearer on their screens. Most vessels in known space followed familiar design principles: sleek, curved hulls with minimal cross-sections to reduce targeting profiles. This vessel defied those conventions. It was angular, with heavy armored plating, and what appeared to be dozens of hardpoints distributed across its hull. "Energy readings are substantial," Mira reported, her voice tinged with professional concern. "Their power core output exceeds our own by approximately 60%. Weapons systems appear active but not targeted." Jetlon's crest rippled with unease. "Open a communications channel." Standard diplomatic protocols. After 3 attempted hails, the main view screen illuminated. The bridge of the unknown vessel was brightly lit, functional rather than ceremonial, with crew members at various stations. At the center stood a bipedal being with pinkish-brown skin and a covering of dark fur atop its head. It wore what was clearly a military uniform of deep blue with silver markings of rank. "This is Captain Elena Reyes of the Earth Union naval vessel Defiance," the alien announced in flawless standard galactic, shocking everyone on the bridge. "We acknowledge your hail. How may we assist you today?" Jetlon felt her secondary heart skip a rhythm. A new species, one that already spoke standard. The Valyrian Confederacy had mapped all intelligent spacefaring life in this sector over centuries. "This is Commander Jetlon of the Valyrian Confederacy vessel Eternal Vigilance," she replied, keeping her voice steady. "You are currently in disputed territory claimed by the Confederacy. Please identify your species and state your purpose in this sector." The human, Captain Reyes, raised a single eyebrow. "Disputed territory. According to our charts, we're well within the boundaries of Earth Union space. We've been patrolling these routes for the past 15 years. 15 years. How had the Confederacy never encountered them before?" The bridge crew exchanged worried glances. "Our records show no sovereign claim to this sector registered with the Galactic Concord," Jetlon countered carefully. "Your vessel is quite impressive, Captain. Perhaps we should discuss this territorial matter further." Reyes nodded, her expression neutral. "We're amenable to discussion. However, I'd appreciate if your escort vessels would power down their targeting systems. We maintain a peaceful stance, but we respond appropriately to perceived threats." Jetlon felt her blood cool. Their sensors hadn't detected the swift justice and righteous path activating targeting systems. Either the human was bluffing, or their sensor capabilities far exceeded Valyrian technology. "A reasonable request," she conceded, signaling her tactical officer to relay the order. "Captain Reyes, I must ask, how is it that your species speaks our language so fluently, yet we have no record of previous contact?" Reyes smiled slightly. "We've been observing Confederacy communications for some time. Learning languages comes naturally to us. It seemed prudent to understand our neighbors before making formal introductions." The casual admission sent a wave of murmurs across the bridge. These humans have been watching them. Studying them. For how long? "I see," Jetlon replied, her tactical mind already calculating implications. And what prompted this formal introduction now? Expanding trade routes primarily, Rise answered smoothly, and recent pirate activity in the region made it sensible to coordinate our. The human was interrupted by an urgent alert from Mira. Commander, multiple contacts emerging from the nearby asteroid field. Energy signatures match known Drax raider configurations. On the view screen, Captain Rise was receiving similar information from her crew. It appears we have company, Commander, she said, her demeanor shifting subtly. Raider vessels. We've had trouble with them in this sector before. As have we, Jetlon acknowledged. The Drax were notorious pirates, scavenging technology and resources from any vessels unfortunate enough to cross their path. We should withdraw and call for reinforcements. Their numbers err. With respect, Commander, Rise interrupted. Withdrawal isn't necessary. The Defiance can handle this threat. You're welcome to observe or assist as you see fit. Before Jetlon could respond, 6 Drax vessels emerged from hiding, their weapons already charging. They spread into a classic pincer formation, attempting to cut off escape routes. Defensive pattern Theta, Jetlon ordered her fleet. Prepare for engagement. On screen, Captain Rise was calmly issuing orders to her crew. The human ship's posture changed almost imperceptibly, minor adjustments to its position that somehow conveyed readiness. The lead Drax vessel fired the first shot, a plasma lance that streaked toward the Defiance. What happened next would change Jetlon's understanding of warfare forever. The human ship didn't evade. The localized energy field appeared precisely where the plasma lance would hit, absorbing and dissipating the energy completely. Not the standard bubble shields used by every known species, but something far more precise and efficient. Interesting shielding technology, Rise commented casually, as if discussing the weather. They've updated their weapons since our last encounter. Our turn now. The Defiance responded with methodical precision, not the expected barrage of energy weapons, but a series of small, targeted strikes. Each hit disabled specific systems on the raider vessels, weapons, engines, communications without destroying them completely. Targeting computers that precise, muttered the tactical officer beside Jetlon. Impossible. 2 Drax ships broke formation, accelerating toward the Valyrian vessels instead. Jetlon prepared to engage, but before her ships could fire, the Defiance moved with startling speed. Space seemed to warp briefly around it, and the human vessel suddenly appeared between the Valyrians and the approaching raiders. Point defense systems only, Rise ordered her crew, audible through the still-open channel. Disable, don't destroy. What followed was a demonstration of surgical precision. The human ship fired what appeared to be conventional projectiles, obsolete technology by Confederacy standards. Yet they struck with unerring accuracy, crippling the raiders' systems without breaching their hulls. Within 3 minutes, all 6 Drax vessels floated powerless, their crews trapped but alive. Raiders neutralized, Rise reported, turning her attention back to the stunned Valyrian commander. We'll handle prisoner processing and transfer. Standard procedure for us in these parts. Jetlon found her voice after witnessing the display. Your combat capabilities are unexpected, Captain. I believe my superiors will want a full report on this encounter. Of course, Rise nodded. And perhaps this can be the beginning of more formal relations between our peoples. We've been curious about the Valyrian Confederacy for some time. As Jetlon watched human boarding teams secure the disabled Drax vessels with practiced efficiency, she couldn't shake the feeling that the galaxy had suddenly become a much smaller place. These humans with their strange ships, advanced technology, and casual confidence were unlike any species the Confederacy had encountered before. And they had been watching from the shadows all along. The aftermath. The observation deck of Outpost Sigma 7 offered a panoramic view of the vast starfield beyond, but Commander Jetlon's attention was fixed on the human vessel docked at the station's primary berth. The Defiance looked even more imposing up close. its angular hull bearing scars of previous battles, each one a testament to encounters unknown to Valyrian intelligence. "The High Council is extremely concerned," Admiral Vexcor said, his age-modeled scales catching the light as he joined her at the viewport. A spacefaring species with this level of technology, operating undetected in our claimed territories for years. It represents a significant intelligence failure, or a significant intelligence success. On their part, Jetlon countered. Their stealth capabilities clearly exceed our detection systems. The question is why reveal themselves now? Perhaps their observation was complete, the Admiral suggested darkly. They've learned what they needed about us. The door to the observation deck slid open, admitting Captain Rice and 2 human officers. The humans moved with a distinctive gait, more fluid than Valyrian physiology allowed, yet with a certain weight that suggested their homeworld had higher gravity. "Admiral, Commander," Rice greeted them with a slight bow, a Valyrian custom she had apparently studied. "Thank you for your hospitality. Your station is impressive, as is your vessel, Captain," Admiral Vexcor replied stiffly, "though I must express concern about its capabilities. The weapons platforms you demonstrated against the Drax raiders exceed anything in our treaty agreements with other Concord species." Reyes nodded, unsurprised by the direct approach. "The Earth Union isn't a signatory to those treaties, Admiral. We've developed our technology independently, based on our own needs and experiences. And yet you've been aware of us, studying us," the Admiral pressed, "without ever making your presence known." One of the human officers, a dark-skinned male with close-cropped white hair, stepped forward slightly. "With respect, Admiral, first contact scenarios require careful preparation. Humanity's history contains enough cautionary tales about cultural misunderstandings leading to conflict." "This is Commander Jackson, my executive officer," Rice introduced him. "And he's correct. Our protocols for contact with advanced civilizations were developed after considerable deliberation." "You consider us advanced?" Jetlon asked, detecting something in the human's phrasing. "Technologically sophisticated," Rice clarified diplomatically, "though your development path differs significantly from our own." Admiral Vexcor's posture stiffened at the implied assessment. "I've been authorized to request a full technological disclosure from your government as a gesture of good faith. Your weapons, your shielding systems, and particularly your method of faster-than-light travel, which seems to operate on principles unknown to our scientists." The humans exchanged glances that Jetlon couldn't quite interpret. Their facial expressions were subtle, yet clearly communicative. "I'm afraid that won't be possible, Admiral," Rice finally responded. "The Earth Union Senate would never approve unrestricted technology sharing without established diplomatic relations and mutual defense agreements. You expect us to form alliances with an unknown power that has been covertly monitoring our civilization," the Admiral demanded. The tension in the room thickened until the second human officer, a female with elaborate markings on her visible skin, spoke up. "Perhaps we could offer context that might ease concerns," she suggested. "I'm Lieutenant Commander Nakamura, Science Officer. The fundamental difference in our technological approach stems from our evolutionary environment." She activated a small projector she carried, displaying a holographic image of a planet with violent weather systems, massive oceans, and active tectonic boundaries. "This is Earth," she explained. "What most Concord species would classify as a death world. Gravity 1.3 times your standard. Extreme climate variations. Regular natural disasters. Diverse biomes containing thousands of predator species." The image shifted to show scenes of human history. Primitive settlements destroyed by floods, rebuilt stronger. Cities devastated by earthquakes, rising again with improved architecture. Forest fires that cleared land for new growth. "We evolved not just to survive these conditions, but to thrive in them," Nakamura continued. "Our technology reflects this heritage. Our shield systems mimic how our atmosphere deflects radiation. Our weapons are inspired by natural forces we've contended with for millennia. Our drive systems utilize principles we discovered by studying tectonic movements and gravitational anomalies. Jetlon studied the images with growing fascination. Most spacefaring species evolved on gentle worlds with stable climates and predictable environments. The idea of intelligence emerging from such chaos was both disturbing and compelling. And yet, despite this harsh beginning, you claim peaceful intentions. Admiral Vex Kor asked, skepticism evident in his tone. Captain Reyes stepped forward again. Because of our beginning, Admiral. Species that evolve in forgiving environments never need to develop cooperation to the degree we did. Every advance in human history came when we worked together against common threats, usually environmental, occasionally self-inflicted. The hologram changed again, showing archaeological ruins that made both Valyrians stiffen in shock. The architecture was unmistakably similar to ancient Valyrian design principles. We found these while expanding a settlement after the last ice age, Reyes said quietly. Your people visited Earth approximately 30,000 years ago, according to our dating methods. They established observation posts, studied our ancestors, and then abandoned the planet, presumably concluding nothing of value could evolve in such hostile conditions. The Admiral's scales had paled considerably. That's impossible. Our historical records don't. Records can be lost or deliberately obscured. Reyes interrupted gently. We don't hold any grudge for being deemed unworthy of further attention. It may have been the greatest gift your ancestors could have given us, the freedom to develop without external influence. Before the Admiral could respond, an emergency alert sounded throughout the station. A communications officer's voice came through the speakers. Multiple unidentified vessels just emerged from hyperspace at the system boundary. Configuration matches nothing in our database, but energy signatures suggest significant weapons capability. The humans reacted instantly, moving with practiced coordination. Captain, Commander Jackson said, checking a device on his wrist. The Defiance sensors confirm 15 vessels, bearing clear attack formations. Not Drax. Something else entirely. Reyes turned to the Valyrians. Admiral, I suggest we continue this cultural exchange later. Right now, I offer the Defiance and her capabilities to assist in station defense. Admiral Vex Kor hesitated only briefly before his tactical instincts overrode diplomatic caution. Offer accepted, Captain. Our defensive fleet is on patrol and won't return for hours. As they rushed toward the command center, Jetlon moved alongside Reyes. You mentioned you've had trouble with Drax raiders before. Have you encountered these new vessels previously? No, Reyes admitted, her expression grim. But their formation patterns suggest coordinated military action, not opportunistic raiding. The command center's main screen displayed the approaching vessels. Black, chitinous shapes moving with unsettling organic fluidity, despite their massive size. Hive Collective. Commander Jackson identified them immediately. We've had intelligence reports, but no direct contact until now. You know these beings? Admiral Vex Kor demanded. We know of them, Reyes clarified. A non-humanoid collective intelligence that expands through conquest. They've been probing borders at the far reaches of Earth Union space. We didn't realize they'd penetrated this far into the sector. The station's defensive systems seemed woefully inadequate against the approaching force. Jetlon calculated the odds quickly. Without the patrol fleet, the station would fall within an hour. The Defiance can buy us time, Reyes offered, already communicating with her ship, but we'll need your full cooperation and access to your communications array to contact Earth Union forces in the region. You have additional ships nearby? The Admiral asked, surprise evident in his voice. We maintain a presence where needed, Reyes replied cryptically. Commander Jackson will coordinate with your tactical team. Lieutenant Commander Nakamura will need access to your sensor array to gather intelligence on the high ships. As the humans integrated seamlessly with the Valyrian defense teams, Jetlon observed their efficiency with newfound appreciation. Whatever the humans' motives for revealing themselves now, their assistance was undeniably valuable. Your ships can't possibly stand against 15 hive vessels, Admiral Vexcor said quietly to Reyes as they watched the approaching enemy on the tactical display. Captain Reyes' expression remained confident. Admiral, there's something you should understand about humans. Those harsh conditions that shaped us. They taught us to never enter a fight we haven't already figured out how to win. The Defiance undocked from the station, maneuvering to intercept the first wave of hive ships. As it moved into position, strange distortions appeared in space around it. 5 more human vessels materialized from what appeared to be folded space, a technology completely unknown to Valyrian science. Earth Union Battle Group 7, reporting as requested. A new voice announced over the communications channel. Sorry for the delay, Captain Reyes. Had to make sure we didn't arrive too early and complicate your first contact protocols. Reyes allowed herself a small smile as she glanced at the stunned Valyrians. As I said, Admiral, humans prefer to be prepared. As the human fleet engaged the hive ships with devastating coordination, Shetlan realized the galaxy had changed irrevocably. The Valyrian Confederacy had always considered itself among the most advanced civilizations in known space. Now they found themselves confronted not just with a new power, but with their own historical blind spots. The humans, born of a world that should have crushed them, had instead been forged by its challenges into something extraordinary. And now, for better or worse, they had stepped out of the shadows and onto the galactic stage. Whatever came next, Shetlan suspected it would be anything but boring.